Don't be scared. Do it.
It's done. We're live.
Boom, boom, boom.
Bow, bow, bow.
Let me tell you what's wrong with a particular. No. You know what's wrong with these people?
First thought would be a lot.
And see, like, how fast can we be demonetized? I'll show
We're
you.
barely monetized now.
Really? We still got a number of viewers, right? Are we not getting enough hours?
I mean, I
I'm
think
the last one to know about everything. Well, I blame you, suckers.
we still get
It's
views.
probably my fault.
All right, let's see here. What was I doing? Ah, yeah, that's right. Gonna pull that up.
They say life is for the living. So all we can do is just get to it. Wonder if that Haktua girl still has like a podcast.
Is she in legal trouble?
Apparently that got cleared up, I heard.
I'd imagine it would.
But I don't think she has a podcast anymore. Because she sort of went off the face of the earth for a while.
That's not hard to believe. Well, I mean, I give her credit for riding the 10 minutes of fame that hard. That's impressive, man. I mean, when I heard she had a hot podcast, your random question got you a podcast. It makes me realize that we're doing something wrong.
Well, we're not young and we're not attractive, so that's 2 strikes against us right there.
Hey, I got tits. It's not the right
problem
kind.
is, if we say the kind of things that she said, we get demonetized. We are, as they would say, not allowed to do that.
All righty, let's get started. Welcome to Dicejunkies. I'm Xenodamus. I'm here with
Q
and
Bloodaxe. Because we don't have Skype anymore because they decided to go ahead and kick Skype to the curb.
Yeah. Trying to get Discord to work, but it does weird stuff. Anyways, all right, let's get started. First up, let's see what we got. Guess we'll start off with more people losing their job. That seems to be a trend lately.
So you know my golden rule. I normally.
So EA cancels Black Panther game, closes cliffhanger.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. So this is another. I mean, I figured, man, these Marvel. We have some good examples of Marvel games, you know, and honestly, you take a good, one of those good, just adventure type Marvel games, and you slap a skin of Black Panther in there, come up with a halfway decent story, and people would buy the game. I mean, why don't these companies just look at their successes and go, this is the type of game that works. Let's do that.
Well, that's what got me was that, like, I don't get to play as Black Panther in a lot of games. It's a rarity. We used to like Marvel Ultimate Alliance. That was when you got to play it. And, him and Luke Cage, they don't pop up often. So you're not going to have a hard time selling this game if you... Oh, my God.
Yeah,
okay.
Just take an example of some of the decent Marvel games that have come out over the past. We know mostly the best ones that work is your over-the-head view, and just an action-y combat.
Because it was supposed to be an open world Black Panther game, which sounds interesting, especially in Wakanda. Like, we've not seen Wakanda rendered except in rarely in cartoons, in the Black Panther movies, and I don't think we've seen Wakanda seriously. Well, Rivals has a little bit. So getting to do an open world game in Wakanda would have been interesting to me. That is a game that I'm assuming they weren't trying to charge $80 for. I would have grabbed it. I just don't. I doubt EA could put out something that's worth $80, but they could have put out something that I would have bought for 60. You know, maybe even 70 if it ended up being surprisingly good.
Yeah.
But you know,
Well,
at
like
the same time,
I don't see it being hard. I mean, dude, what was those games? There was like 4 of them. Has the Death and War.
Darksiders?
Yeah, you do a Darksiders style combat and put it in the Marvel universe. Create Wakanda. Come up with some sort of enemy that's storming Wakanda, so you get to have a high kill count, and you save Wakanda. Bam, done. Not a lot of.
I guess it catches my interest. But it also literally closed the developer, laid off the staff. What the heck did these people put together? That they didn't just cancel the game; they fired the folks. Like or was it a different group that got fired? Were the people that got fired the people that were working on that game? Now we need to confirm that. Like, who got fired?
Well, I mean, they closed
the studio is this isn't the only game that got shelved. Titanfall 3 also got shelved a couple of weeks ago as well. So it's not just cliffhanger games, but also Respawn is streamlining some of their games as well, because Titanfall 3 is no longer in development either.
They say it's a mobile and central team staffs, and the exact number, it looks like, at least at the time of this May 28th, or this May 28th article, said they didn't know the exact number. But I'm going to go out on a limb, which Zeno hates when I do, but you canceled a big game that was coming up and you fired a bunch of people. I doubt there's no correlation.
Yeah,
now,
well, I mean, this article mentions it's like these cuts come on the heels of multiple other rounds of layoffs and cancellations at EA. Over the last few years, and especially in 2025, last month, EA laid off roughly 300 individuals, including 100 at Respawn, while canceling an in-development Titanfall game, another incubation project. Earlier this year, EA restructured BioWare, laying off more people. In 2024, there was a massive restructuring of EA that resulted in 670 workers laid off. I mean, these large game companies are suffering, man, and they're suffering because they just keep making bad gaming development decisions, man. I mean, I hate it for the people who get lost their job, but you would think these companies would get a clue. You know, we have a history of successful games. You should be able to go back and go, this is what people found fun. Take what people found fun and just do that over with a new story and some different skins, and people will keep buying the stuff. We have precedents here. We've seen it. You know, people buy football games every year because they want to play football. You know, people buy the fighting games every time they come out because they just want the latest and greatest of that fighting game. They don't want you to change up the game. I mean, Tekken 8's learning from that. They changed up the game too much, you know, and people just want Tekken. They don't want, you to change it into a different style of fighting game. They want the same thing, just with a little bit of a freshness and new and the latest graphics.
Let me tell you what I found. So, Darkside Gaming, DSOG, little as an hour ago, said they found a little bit more about the game. Single player, third person action. You're supposed to be fighting scrolls. This is what they've dug up. But the playable characters are going to be T'Challa, Killmonger, and Shuri, who are all competing for the mantle of Black Panther. And I'm like, T'Challa's Black Panther.
Yeah.
But that's the thing.
So it sounds like they had the general premises.
More stuff.
Sounds like they had the general premises near right. They just screwed up by trying to put this stupid character.
It was also, the game was in development for 4 years, and it was nowhere near completion. They said it had already been in 4 years of development, and it wasn't even pre-alpha, really. So, dude, EA, I can understand EA is not doing well enough to give people, because here's what happens. I've never thought I'd be defending EA, and I'm not. What I'm defending is this. Have you noticed that if a game's in development too long, we get absolute garbage? That is a recurring theme. And I guess it makes sense, because honestly, if you take too long to make the dang game, it's outdated. Because you started with old tech. But 4 years, you're not even close to finish. That means this might have been an 8-year project, 6 to 8 years, and that's expensive. And the best games I played did not take that long. Let's be real. The best games I played do not take that flipping long these days, it seems. The indie people can crank these games out in a year or two.
Yeah. I mean, Mike in the chat says you can't build a hit by committee. On the other hand, you have smaller devs like Hello Games, No Man's Sky, Coffee Stain, Satisfactory, Clifftop Games, Kathy Rain 1 and 2 that make amazing games. And I actually saw an article today that were talking about the developers of that game Bloodaxe has been playing, the Expedition 33.
Yeah.
And they were talking. They were like, yeah, we hope these games keep going up in prices. Like these, they're like, we hope GTA comes out and it wants you to pay $100. It's making our lives easy selling $50 games. So these smaller developers are making buck, and they're coming out with good stuff, and it's working.
And that's my thing. It's like I said, the time frame too. It's just ridiculous that, like, if an indie company spends 4 years on a game, you're about to see them. You're about to see No Man's Sky when it's completed. You're about to see something incredible. And who knows how much they were charging them for this, man? I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to find out that it was 4 years in and already $200-300 million game price.
We know that Disney is holding on to their IP and are charging these companies licensing fees to make these games now. So we don't know how much they had to pay Disney just for the Black Panther title. And it may, and because Disney has its fingers in the title, it may have been Disney's fault that they had to use the movie characters instead of just making a good Black Panther, game.
Okay, so from what I've seen so far, Power World took 3 years to make, and they were doing it in their free time. They had day jobs. Remnant 2 took 3 to 4 years to make. So the games are costing too much and taking too long to make for AAA. I don't know what they're doing.
Well, you're talking about games that took 3 years with also a very small development group.
Now Claire Expedition 33 took 6 years, but it's also a small team.
Yeah.
And even then, it's also going to be Game of the Year. So, very likely. So, this is...
I don't know, man.
Stupid.
This year has some decent contenders for Game of the Year. I'm actually... This is probably the first year where I'm sort of curious where Game of the Year is going to go.
Black Myth, 6.5 years, but it's their first game. So, that's all I'm saying is that I get it if they needed 6 years, because I just saw one of my favorite games took 6 years, but we also had gameplay footage well before the 6-year mark. You know what I'm saying? Like, I waited for that game for a few years. We had awesome trailers.
Well, I mean, it also came out pretty clean, footage, and it came out selling multiple millions.
Yeah, but like, I've seen nothing of the game, and from what we saw, they had like a single screenshot somebody dug up, and they said it wasn't even like pre-alpha really. And here's the thing: I'm gonna be honest. We're saying this, but I don't think it was gonna be good. Not because of Black Panther. I don't think it was good because it's EA. Because I'm gonna be real. If you mess up Star Wars Outlaws, do you know how long people wanted to do their own little Han Solo adventures of Star Wars? It's like one of the most requested things I saw in these games. Everybody talking about, oh man, I'd love to be doing this and smuggling. And they F that up. Just in a way that I don't understand how. And that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. So
Star
you
Wars
think you're gonna
Outlaws
get
was
something like Black
hang
Panther,
on.
right?
Star Wars Outlaws was Ubisoft, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
They
EA
did
stuff too.
Jedi Survivor and Jedi Fallen Order, and those games were okay. The first one was much better. Fallen Order is better than Survivor, but no, that was Ubisoft that screwed that up.
Yeah.
Well, the EA screwed something up. I got the game and stuff,
Oh,
but I
EA
know EA
screwed plenty
something
up. I mean, yeah, I mean,
around that same time, I swore that EA
Dragon
and
Age.
Ubisoft
I
were
mean, do
competing.
we have to go much
Oh
further?
yeah,
than
the
Dragon
Vile
Age?
Guard. Vile Guard,
say?
yes.
Yeah,
Vile Guard
but
was
there
EA.
you go. Okay, because I remember that EA and Ubisoft were competing
Yeah.
to see who could be the biggest loser. And I just got the companies mixed up. But that's actually worse because I'd play Star Wars Outlaws before I'd play Veil Guard. I cannot be paid to play Veil Guard. Like I said, I cannot be paid to play Veil Guard.
Well, yeah. I get you.
Vile Guard's
I mean,
yeah.
speaking of cheaper games, dude. I mean, I was in Oklahoma last week, which is why we didn't have a show. I was visiting family up there, and I'm not a very sociable person when it comes to family, so I get worn out pretty quick. And I also needed a distraction because of other crap that happened while I was up there. But so I downloaded I bought a game because it was supposed to be on the Switch, and I don't want to buy a Switch, but I played the first Fantasy Life on the DS and I had fun with it. It's sort of like a mixture between Animal Crossing and Dragon Quest, or to be more specific, Animal Crossing and Bravely Default, but Bravely Default's a lesser known RPG.
You're right, it does look like that.
But really fun game. And it was only $59, So I mean, still a pricier game, not as indie, but
I don't think it doesn't look like it's worth $59, but all right.
Dude, it is a huge game. I've already put a ton of hours in it. It has class switching, exploration, fighting, crafting. I mean, it's a really fun game. I mean, it is chibi, but
Action combat or turn-based?
action.
So it's not turn-based.
Not
That might
turn-based.
help.
But yeah, huge maps, a lot of exploration. Been fun, dude. Like I said, I mean, I was pleased. I like the way that the classes work. Playing the wizard, it's been a while since I've had a good wizard, and I thought it was a decent magic class. Like you can learn all the classes. I learned all the crafting classes and all the gathering classes, but I only learned one fighting class, and that was mage. Like the paladin, the ranger, and the mercenary. I was like, no, I ain't even worried about those. I'm just gonna go full mage. And
Does it have summoning?
it does not have summoning.
Taming?
No.
You can keep it.
Yeah, I know you. I didn't suggest the game to you because, it's probably a
I
little.
like magic. I like action magic. I saw that it had a magician class, but then I thought about it. I said, yeah, but can I tame a dragon and then feed people to it?
Well, I mean, you're a little more judgmental, I think, on the
Yes.
the kitty graphics, but
Yes.
But no, I found it fun. Now I am shocked. I mean, the Steam numbers aren't really that great on it. It's got good review at almost 90% positive, but only about 65,000 peak. I honestly thought it was going to be higher when I looked it up because I was like, man, this may be another contender for Game of the Year to me.
Not with those numbers.
But
hey, but here's the good news. It beat Veilguard.
That's sad.
Well,
Veilguard's all-time was 60,656. It beat Veilguard.
I figured the reason why it's only got 65,000 on Steam is it's a PC
mobile game.
It's a PC and Switch release, and a lot of people have the Nintendo Switch. I mean, the Nintendo Switch is one of the most owned consoles in the world, so that's probably got probably a high numbers on the Switch. I haven't been able to find
you're not
what those
helping
numbers
Veilguard with that statement because that just makes it sadder. It was beat by a mobile and Switch. It beat by a Switch game that probably most people play on their Switch. Yeah, and they still could beat Veilguard. Hey, I'll tell you this: I would play that, but I wouldn't play Veilguard. I mean, of course, at this point, I'm not beating a dead horse. I'm beating a tombstone.
Yeah,
the horse is buried because they couldn't give it away. Y'all remember we covered that. They tried to give it away and it didn't really work. And I was like, dang, I didn't know there's so many people felt like me and said like, nah, not even for free. You know what I mean?
Now the new AAA Elden Ring game came out.
Night Rain.
And it's doing really well at apparently 300,000 players.
$50 replayability for a while. Apparently very difficult. I think that's what's caused the mixed reviews is that the difficulty is supposed to be quite up there. But the difficulty isn't what you think. It isn't as much a skill issue as it is you really need to play in co-op. And I guess Dark Souls / Elden Ring players are naturally antisocial. They're used to picking on each other. As you know, I got constantly invaded every time I tried to play with a friend. I actually have heard that be a big thing. If they're like,
you say the DLC is $50?
Huh?
Did you say the DLC is $50?
It's not DLC. It's a game, and it's $60. I thought. Now you got me doubting. Isn't it $60?
Wait, so Night Rain is a new game. It's not an add-on to the old Elden Ring. Okay, I was confused.
It is its own game. And they're not charging you like an hour. It might be $40. Okay, hold on. Dang it. Load up Steam. Okay. I thought that's going to kick Steam in the teeth. I don't know. I'm getting nothing but errors. Somebody look up the price of freaking Night Rain.
It is $39.99. So
$40. And it should be. It's not a procedural roguelike, but at least they charge $40 for it. And from what I understand, it's worth $40. I've considered grabbing it, but I have the same problem. I don't know anybody that plays Elden Ring, because you know who played Elden Ring with me, Bloodaxe, rest in peace. So like that, nobody else really messes with it, huh?
Do I need to get Night Rain?
No, I don't think you'd enjoy it.
Is it cross-platform?
It is hard as heck, and it's roguelike. I don't know if you do roguelikes. But it's one of those you get knocked down to level 1 every time you start again, but you get a little bit of stuff to carry over. I'm not bored enough to snag it. I've got Tainted Grail, which has been really fun. And then we got Borderlands 3. I'd rather just play Borderlands 3 with your brother. And we wouldn't play Titan's Wonderlands.
How's Tainted Grail?
Pretty good. I've been enjoying it. The full release came out a little while back, and it is better. It is better. When I first played it, I thought it was decent, but I'm liking the full release. I'm looking forward to it, and more importantly, I already got summons. So, I've already started summoning stuff.
25,000 peak on that one. It's a little low on the peak, but 85% positive reviews. So
we need to give Towerborn another try, see if we get the cross-platform to work.
Think they might have got that going?
I don't know, but they've added new stuff. I downloaded it and played it today, and they've added new content. So they've done some updates, but I don't know if that works because I don't have anybody else to try it with. So we can try it later tonight if you want to.
Yeah, numbers on Tainted Grail. Tainted Grail is one of those kind of cult games. Like some people played the first one. I'm not expecting it to be huge. I mean, also, I'm pretty sure it wasn't that expensive, but it's still a fun game.
Yeah,
And
it's $44 or
you know what I
45
mean?
bucks.
I consider it a decent snag. Um, but no, like I said, man, these AAA games, just to like put back on point, are just not worth the investment anymore half the time. You know, because they want, and then they got the nerve to go up in price while getting stomped by indie games. I don't know. Well,
Yeah.
no, they got the nerve to go up because Nintendo did it, and they thought they could get away with it. And I'm like, you don't have fanboys like Nintendo has fanboys. There are people that will pay $80 for a Nintendo game that's
Well,
just Mario looking at you
speaking of
funny.
$80, Randy Pitchard says real fans will pay $80 for Borderlands 4.
Oh yeah, we finally get to tackle this idiot saying, "Do you people even have phones?"
I guess I'm not a real fan, but I'm not paying $80 for that game. There's no way.
Not at the Tiny Tina's Wonderland. And you know what? Here's the deal. I believe if you own Tiny Tina's Wonderland, you should get credit towards Borderlands 4. So then we only have to pay $20. So yeah, I want credit towards Borderlands 4 for buying Tiny Tina's Wonderland.
Well, I mean, speaking of Tiny Tina's Wonderland, Randy Pitchard also said this week that if you're worried about the cost of Borderlands 4, Tiny Tina Wonderlands is going to be free on the Epic Store, and you should go get that.
I guess I can't get no credit if the game's free. God dang, I hate that old weird. Randy Pitchard is the human version of Claptrap. If Claptrap would be nice. I've already attacked him for that enough. We'll stop. He is the real life version of Claptrap. We'll leave it at that. Ping pong ball.
Yeah, we know.
Anyway.
We know.
Oh.
Anyway. But no, like, that was a dumb thing. He's going to be the guy. Unless he gets lucky and somebody pulls a hold my beer moment, that's going to be the dumb thing said of the year, of the shut up and pay us what we said. You know, but I get Nintendo. At least Nintendo is so huge in Japan and overall such a well-doing console. Them pulling you'll pay us this makes sense. Yeah. But Gearbox,
I will say his actual quote was, "For our real fans who may be cost sensitive, the very awesome and incredibly fun smash hit video game Tiny Tina's Wonderlands is free this week on the Epic Game Store. Please enjoy this free gift by grabbing your free copy here free."
How many times did you say free in one sentence?
4.
God.
Well, 3 in the one sentence. 4 in the post.
Wonderlands was a trash fire.
He says you don't get to just walk. One player says you don't get to just walk back incredibly tone deaf to the world around you. We are out here struggling, Randy. Dude, you need to shut up already. No reason games should be $80, especially if it's anything like 3 or that shit ass excuse of a movie.
That movie was mm-hmm.
I got about 20, 30 minutes in that movie and had turned it off. I could not finish that movie. It was bad.
And I mean, they bombed that movie. Embracer sold them to, Take-Two. Like, he needs to stop acting like things are doing well. You know, I'm just being real. He needs to stop acting like they just, boom, they knock it out. What have they done lately? Well, I don't know. Maybe Tiny Tina's Wonderland did well. Who knows? They did cheat a lot of people. I mean, it was a hustle. So as a hustle, it might have been very successful.
I mean, dude, the concept was what got me to buy it. I mean, it was a cool concept. The execution.
Dragon's Keep was a blast. But this was not Dragon's Keep by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah. So, well, speaking of other things that aren't doing well, the new marathon info is Bungie's morale is super low, and there's worries that the game won't ever even be launched because apparently Sony is pulling back its marketing plans for Marathon.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, Marathon has been like that marketing plan pulled back. A lot of people think now you got to think about it. This will be another game to die for Sony. I don't know how much it costs to make, but if this game kills off, Bungie is probably screwed. Estimated cost on Marathon is between $100 to $200 million to make, which is still a lot to then not release the game if that happens. I mean, the only reason that doesn't even sound like a lot to us is because we lived through the Concord, which was just unbelievable.
well, I
But
mean,
$102 million is ridiculous.
so apparently Marathon, they got caught ripping off people's art and stuff and putting it in the game.
Yes.
And
Yes.
apparently, from what this says, the one ex-employee taking things in 2020 is the same one being given internally at Bungie among the rank and file. So, I mean, it just seems like they're saying the art theft is one of the issues while they're delaying. Then Sony and Bungie's legal are now sorting through all this. So they had to, I think they had to block a bunch of stuff when they did the preview because apparently a lot of the stolen art was in their demo or their trailers. Man, I mean, you would think they would have learned from watching other studios like Ubisoft with Assassin's Creed. I mean, taking people's shit. All right, this may have happened. I guess their art thefts happened before Assassin's Creed's art theft, huh?
Just so you know, Black Myth Wukong only cost $43 million to make. So yeah, no, $102 million is actually a lot. That is actually a pretty high cost. And that's what I'm saying about these companies not knowing how to keep the price from being.
What about $102 million? I'm sorry, you lost me there. Jump.
Marathon is estimated to cost $100 to $200 million to make.
Okay.
Black Myth Wukong only costs 43. So these AAA games are ridiculous. Assassin's Creed costs 250 to 350 million, but that's Assassin's Creed. So this new game was working its way toward major franchise AAA game costs. They probably should not put it out. They you got to stop giving money to people to make trash. Bungie literally had attitude and made this game a screw everybody. I was watching it, the back and forth. They're like, we're gonna make what we like. Shut up. You're phobic, whatever. Nazi. I don't know. They started throwing dumb shit out, because they do that. And it's like, what the hell are you talking about? The robots, man. It looks ugly. We're saying it looks ugly, and it looks like a mediocre shooter. Nope. Gamergate or some crap. And you're just like, oh, hey, man, nobody cares. And that's dumb. I want to see these companies correct themselves, preferably, or not get back burner. If you're literally taking hundreds of millions of dollars from your head company to make a game, and you're not making it for anybody, that's just stupid. I'm so tired of it. Because here's why. I'm not tired of it because you think I'm not even tired of it as a gamer. I got stuff to play. I'm tired of it because of all the poor people that lose their jobs afterward. Because now Bungie is scared people get fired. But you wasn't scared that people would get fired when people critiqued the game and you told them to go themselves. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah. But now you're scared. No. You need to stop thinking you can try to cry victim when people tried to talk to you, you didn't want to talk to them, the customers. Right, Bloodaxe?
That's right.
Like we're talking to you. We saying no. You're going F you. Then you're like, I lost all jobs. And I'm trying to be empathetic. I think losing your job is the worst thing that happened to somebody got a family, got some people dependent on them. But there are also times, which was going to be a later topic, where people kind of throw their jobs away and then want to cry victim. And I'm sorry, I don't feel bad for you.
The graphics are sort of shit on this game. You are right on the Marathon.
What'd you say, brother?
So the graphics on this Marathon game does sort of look like shit.
Yeah, and people said that. And it's $100 to $200 million. It don't look as good as the other games. It doesn't. Like Order Expedition 33 is a beautiful game. I tried to find it. They haven't posted yet. I'm pretty sure Expedition 33 probably did not cost $200 million. Very likely it did.
I figure probably in the 50 to 60 at most.
How do you have all that money and you make a game that looks like this and you're Bungie? You made Halo, you made Destiny 1 and 2, but you crank out a game that's fugly and the guns are ugly and the gameplay looks worse, looks Call of Duty, the last Call of Duty bad. You know, we're just like, everybody's calling it the worst Call of Duty. And I'm looking at the gunplay and going like, I've seen this gunplay. It looks really bad. Yeah, it doesn't look good.
Yeah, the graphics look 20 years old.
Yeah. I don't know 20, but at least 10.
No.
I mean,
I see some spots where they put in some good detail, and then I see other spots where it's just really bland. So I don't know.
And the worst part is they tried to make this weird lore about it, but it's just an extraction shooter. They didn't put that in the gameplay. You're not just no. From what we see, it's just an extraction shooter with a really weird concept. But if you're going to do that, then put it in the game. Have mysteries. Have interesting things happen. Have unique abilities that stand out. Don't just make a Call of Duty. I run around my gun, shoot people, pick up another gun, shoot people game. Then try to get really weird, and you pick something ugly nobody's into. you drop the bomb there.
Yeah, Concord tried that. It didn't work.
Dude, people play Call of Duty and Battlefield, and they don't care what you look like. If it's a good game and good gunplay, you don't need all that other crap. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to try to do something unique, the gameplay needed an element to go with it. And from what I saw, that wasn't present. So I'm like, I'm in this super weird, futuristic, mind-swapped in robot bodies game, and all I can do is run around and shoot people, man. I can't hack somebody or hop bodies. There was another game I saw where you literally could have like a doppelganger of yourself running around. It was a shooter, and it was like, oh, I'm over here, and through that guy, and there's another version of me over there. That sounded interesting. I don't know what Marathon was supposed to be. And the name's boring. Name's lame, too. So, and I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying, now they're crying. And I'm like, please, I will be more than willing, no matter what our differences are, to support you in that you need your job. But you got to give me something to work with and act like you want that job. If you act like you don't want your job, I cannot care when you lose it. You got to at least act like you want it.
Yeah.
Is that too much to ask?
Now, one that shocked me this week was Doom Dark Ages. Reportedly sold less than 1 million copies.
They
said out of the 3 million players bragged by Bethesda, which 3 million still seems slow for a Doom game. They said 2.2 million were said to be playing through Game Pass.
Oh, of course. So I was about to look it up,
Pass.
but they're all on Game Pass. All right. Yeah, their Steam numbers are 31,000, which is lower than your little mobile game and Veilguard. Half. Now, I do agree.
My game is not a mobile game. It is a PC game and a Switch game. Not mobile. Mobile is Android and iOS. It's not on Android and iOS.
Either way, it's beating Doom Dark Ages on Steam.
Yeah.
And I do believe there are plenty of Doom players on Steam. I don't think they all are on Game Pass. That even makes me wonder if those numbers are real, because God dog, man, if 2.2 are on even if 2.2 are on Game Pass, where the heck are the rest of them? Because they ain't on Steam. They ain't even a fraction of them on Steam.
They say so 200,000 on PlayStation, 400,000 on Xbox, another 200,000 on Steam, and then 2.2 million on Game Pass.
What did you say? 3 million? Yeah, if you do it like that. Now, is that something you're looking up, or you just?
That's what this article is saying is the belief.
Even then, look how many of the people playing it are only willing to play it for free, because that's still really low numbers that you don't even have a 500,000 dang near anywhere else. That's bad. Now, I don't think the game is bad. I just don't think it's a keeper. I'm gonna say that I don't think it's a keeper. I could be wrong. You guys are the Doom heads. What do y'all think?
What,
Um,
Doom? I
This
mean,
Doom.
personally, I enjoy the game. I think it's fun. I haven't gotten far on it. It doesn't have the push to really just play it nonstop. But like for something when I want to let out some energy and some rage, I think it's good for, which is what I've always played Doom for. So I mean, I think the game is fine. I'm surprised. Like I said, I was surprised to see such low numbers. Bloodaxe said he had his own opinion on it, so I'll shut up and let him.
It's not a Doom game. It's a shooter, but the whole story of Doom was either going to Mars or hell on Earth, and the gates of hell, and you're basically trying to shut everything down. But with the story that what they've done with this soft reboot, and with these alien worlds, and it's really it takes a lot of mental gymnastics to even think that you're still playing Doom anymore. And that's what just gets me. I don't mind the shield, and I don't mind the some of the game mechanics, but the story is hard for me to wrap my head around. And I'm not going to go into it for those that haven't played it yet, but the deployment system of the Doomery, of the Slayer, is
Warhammer
not
40K ripoff.
it really, and I had our buddy Flynn, who was over here this morning, and he spent several hours with me, and we were actually talking about this, and apparently he's gotten into the lore and read some of the books, and he tried to explain it to me, and I did nothing but scratch my head and go, how is that Doom? So gameplay, yes, I've enjoyed playing the game, but the cinematics and the in between chapters, really, I cannot immerse myself into playing Doom. The thing about, because I was talking to my wife about this, because my one of my younger kids, he's 15, he's playing Doom, and he started out with Eternal and enjoyed it, and now he's playing this one, and my wife's like, wasn't Doom one of the games that really just kind of messed with you? I was like, yeah, Doom 3 was one of the scariest games I played because of the I played on a little 13-inch screen back in the 2000s, and it was at night, and I was wearing headphones, and there were plenty of jump scares. There's nothing in this game that's foreboding. There's nothing in this game that makes me, think that something sinister. It's okay. You go and you go shoot these guys. Go wipe this area clean. It's not Doom.
Yeah.
It's more of a street and sweep type game than it is you trying to survive or lock down a base or close the portals to hell.
Yep,
And so,
okay, you went out there for a minute.
but I mean,
Only on your side.
It is not in the vein of Doom that what I grew up playing. And so that's why I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around it. And maybe it gets better. I've gone through the first 3 chapters, but the moment I got into a big mecha and I was fighting other big demons, I'm like, why don't we just do this for the whole fucking game? So it's really not. If it would have been called something other than Doom, I'd be having more fun.
I will say this. I get your jump scare tactics. I will say the open world, our more open environments of the newer Dooms sort of did kill that, because the old Doom was very corridor based. Everything's, you're going around corners, and and eventually you might open up into a big room, but for the most part, it was a lot of corridors. So you do lose that aspect of it, and I get that. As far as the lore goes, I never really cared about the lore, so I don't even pay attention to the lore in Doom, man. Doom to me is fast-paced, blowing shit up, killing things, and just letting out some anger. So,
but this isn't that fast-paced. It's go into a room, kill these 5 guys, go to another layer, and so it used to be strafing tactics is kind of what made Doom, and I'm not even bothered to use strafing tactics anymore.
Well, it's going from strafing to parrying in this one.
Right, and
I will say the annoyance of you have to parry certain attacks to do damage was a bit took you out of the rage. So I can see where the complaints are coming from.
And where's the chainsaw?
What's that?
Where's the chainsaw?
You got to upgrade your shield to do it for you.
No, I've already unlocked that part. No, but I'm talking about the actual chainsaw, not the chainsaw.
You're not getting glory kills on that level anymore. But no, look, I'm going to defend the game on this. I think it's the coolest Captain America game I've played. So, first person Captain America, awesome.
Well, we'll end the Doom talk on that. The
ending's awful though. If you complete it, you think you're confused now. Bloodaxe, the ending will have you go, wait, what the hell does that mean? That will be your statement if you finish it.
Well, speaking of what the hell moments,
the end of the game, yeah. No, and I'll finish it because I played all the Doom games, but I'm not enjoying it like I thought I would, which is, it took me 2 weeks to even start it up, and my hesitance has been justified. I just put it that way.
There you go. New Sony bad actor detection patent feels a lot like a digital social credit score. I feel like we've had these patents before that never really got implemented. We hear about the latest doom and gloom being patented, from addiction tactics to monitoring and stuff. A lot of them don't ever fully come to tuition. I hope this one also does not. But apparently Sony has patented basically what people are calling a social credit score to their gaming.
It is. It's literally measuring to see if you cross a threshold. Here's the thing about this that's why it's a big deal and it's worth talking about. It's because Sony before had patents about paying attention to what you're doing, but those patents were, one, implied like they were going to be reviewed by people, and two, I hate to say it, but I think the language was clearer on them than this one.
A lot of those was not anything to do with people, man. I remember so many, and most of the time our biggest argument is, well, who's making the call? Is this an automated system?
Well, here we know it is, so it's not a debate. It's an automated system that the second you cross the threshold removes your online access. And which is, to me, how I feel, robbery, because Sony's trying to make every game they have require you to be online regardless. And imagine losing access to your single-player games for something that happened in a multiplayer game. But what's worse is that there are rumors that some of the things that can ping you is I play a game with somebody that I send them a friend invite, but I've only ever played with them once. Well, I might be harassing them, so now my score is I'm getting demerits. But
the idea that as Grum says here too, it's another reason not to get a PSN account, man. More reason for why we are not playing these games that require us to log into PlayStation when we're on our PCs.
Well, also we know they want to monitor your activity off of the game too. So your Sony credit score, Sony social credit score, could go down from our videos we're making, and the next thing I know, I go in and they take away my game, and we know I'm going to jail after that. So if I want to stay out of jail, I can't have a PSN account because you can't steal from Q and think you're gonna be okay. Just being real, you can't steal from me and be okay. And if you take away something I bought, we got a problem. I'm sorry, I stand on that because you don't have to let me talk to your little knuckleheads. I don't like them anyway. I don't talk to nobody on PlayStation Network. I know the people. I know the people I want to play with. But the idea that I could spend $180 a game, get 3 games, I'm $240 in, buy the PlayStation, that's what's that, $600. Now I'm $800 something in, get the controller. I spent $1,000, and then day 3, somebody pissed me off. I tell them to go to heck, and all my games shut down. We got a problem. you're not going to walk away with $1,000 of my dollars. I'm going to go, some Sony exec and me are going to have a conversation. Because I know not to mess with no, that's the top. You got to go grab somebody that matter and have a talk with them in the parking lot. Because you don't steal from me. And that's stealing. You do not take away what I purchased legally. Simple as that.
Well, and I mean, that Park Place, they make a good point here at the end, and that's, with their final thought, they said, protect kids, do not police everyone.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, and I get that. I mean, there are games out there that are meant for kids, and I get being protective to those titles that are targeting kids, as players. But if I'm playing a mature rated game, then the people playing the game should be adult enough to be able to protect themselves. Block people that do things they don't like, play with people that they do like, and ignore baiting and trolling. I mean, we are adults. We should not have to have a machine tell us that somebody is being offensive.
Well, Xeno, Monster Hunter. Me and you played Monster Hunter together, but we've never played online with other people. We play with each other, and we cuss the monster out. But but it's just us. We're in there, and I'm ramming the sword. Doshimonga's having a bad day. I'm taking that switch axe, and I'm like, and we're having fun.
Plenty of the games that we've played multiplayer too have internal chat systems. We always use external chat systems.
Yeah, we use Discord.
Yeah, Discord or in some cases the Xbox chat system. But as far as the internal game chat systems, I turned that shit off as soon as I installed a game.
Oh yeah. Well, also Bloodaxe. Me and Bloodaxe have probably played most games.
True. Some of the kids on there, Don in the chat room says, need to protect us from those bad mouth kids. I will say, man, I play Fortnite sometimes, and it will automatically turn on the chat in Fortnite, because like my nieces and nephews that play, that's the only chat they can use is the in-game chat. So I have to use the in-game chat with my nieces and nephews. And I'll get on there, and these random kids will get in there, and man, they're teaching me words, man.
I mean, seriously, me and Bloodaxe have played a lot of online games. We actually have played some, group-based games like Gears and the like. And I've had one encounter where an adult dropped the N-word on me. Whereas I hear that fly from the kids. Like, I walk in and one of my boys is on the game, and I'm just like, playing against the Ku Klux Klan? What the heck? I done heard the N-word, and I'm hearing it in the accents. It ain't who you think. You might hear somebody, you stupid, got an Indian accent, Chinese kid. The only word you recognize is the N-word. They hear just, these kids are wild. But my point is that, and that's the thing, that your score will not probably be based on that. And that's my thing. Because we won't play games. When we play Gears, Bloodaxe is a father, a family guy. We sent the kids home. If a kid joined the group, we would say, sorry, no, and we would have to separate them out of the group, because most of the people we played with was grown as heck. And, steal a kill, and Bloodaxe will cuss you out on a whole nother level. Then he'll steal your kill, and then Xeno will cuss him out to me, but not to him.
I tell you, dude, if there was a way in games to do an age detection and not put adults in the same rooms as children, I would turn that on
with
every
Game Pass,
day.
because with Game Pass, a lot of kids downloading games without their parents' knowledge and jumping and playing with 50-year-old men.
That's true.
We've had that. You up there and somebody 12 years old playing with you and go like, you're cool. My dad doesn't play with me. Can I be your friend? Send you a friend request. You're like, no. Wow.
Yeah, no.
Nope. You got to be like, go fishing with your dad or something, kid. He loves you. Just go on in the backyard there. Don't find your dad on the internet. Don't find your surrogate father on Gears of War.
God.
Yeah, but no, but like I said, that's the thing. I believe in protecting kids. I'd love it if Fortnite with its major audience, because they know who's there, and some of these other games had monitoring. Yeah, no, I wish they had a live team just watching Fortnite and then going, did you just ask this person where they live, and just, you know what I'm saying, cut them off. But my concern is that Sony will apply this to single player games, in that you will lose access to your single player games. You will lose access when you're talking to people you know. Here's an example. You know what? If you're going to do the system, you want me to not trip about it, it should not apply to friends list. Anybody that you're in a group with, that you're on their friends list with each other, the game does not.
Well, dude, it shouldn't apply to adults
score.
talking to adults, man. I just don't get, like I said, there is no damn reason to protect adults from speech. I mean, the country.
But listen to my idea.
We're a free speech country, man. We can fucking monitor ourselves. We can turn it off if we don't like somebody.
Saying.
We can
Listen,
block somebody if we
ground.
don't want to play with them.
I'm trying to find a middle ground. I agree. But listen to my idea. If you do it where it's that the friend list is exempt, then if you got somebody that you don't like what they're saying, even if they were a friend, you kick them off your friend list. Now they can't talk like that anymore. Sony gon' spank them.
I don't want anybody to get in trouble for something they said. Man, it's stupid.
And you only accept friend requests from people who you don't mind what they're saying. At least then, people like grown people can be on a group. Like what you're saying, grown people can be in a group. Because I'll never do that. Because the people crying ain't the kids. Look, the kids don't care. The kids don't care at all. It's adult babies. It's grown, sensitive people who need their themselves to be affirmed, that are crying. I've never heard a child go, I can't believe what they said to me. They just be like, man, that old, and I'm gonna kick his F you. They take, it's the grown person over there that's like, you didn't say the thing I needed you to say for me to feel like I'm a person.
Yeah, well,
don't be on the internet. I've been called everything.
Speaking of grown people getting something for what they did, Honkai Star Rail version 3 notes brings new voice actors for main characters. So apparently,
I'm sorry, I try not to laugh at terminations, but what I always say, don't go on strike if you're not necessary. Okay, that's a bad idea. You don't go on strike when you aren't really that.
I mean, dude, they were part of the main cast. They thought they were necessary.
They weren't. It's a freaking anime. Most people, dude, I can't speak Japanese. I wouldn't notice if you switched the voice actor while I'm reading the subs. I would just be like, sound a little different. Anyway, okay.
I mean, dude, the voice actors. I gotta find a way nicely to put this, but voice actors seem to be the biggest prima donnas I've ever met. For some of the easiestly replaced work, I mean, AI is getting close to replacing them all if they ain't careful.
Well, I don't try to be mean because we know some amazing voice actors.
Well, I know, and that's why I'm trying to. But I mean, the prima donnas know who they are, man.
Yeah, they do. Crunchyroll. For all of y'all. Hi, Monica. Anyway, so, hey, man, we're pretty sure we can't go back to a whole list of conventions because of her. So,
yeah,
fuck you. How about that? But anyway, no, but that's a prima donna, like you say, because we ain't nobody to even care about. But geez. But no, like I said, you're right that it is. Here's the thing. It's hard to replace an actor, and we see them do this to actors. So it's not that we're trying to be mean and say they're easily replaced. We're just saying they tried to replace Geralt. If you're willing to do that, they'll fire your butt that's just speaking into a microphone. You need to understand that voice actors are considered far from necessary. They will get somebody that imitates you in a minute because we've seen it. They got rid of the voice of what's her name? Balletta, you know, the gun.
Oh, yeah, Bayonetta.
Bayonetta. They got rid of her. And they didn't have a good reason. They just decided, we can get somebody cheaper.
Yeah.
And that sucks. I like her voice. I think she was the voice of Bayonetta. But if they'll do that for little reason, do you think they're gonna stop? Do you think they're gonna stop making episodes of the anime because of the strike? No, they're just gonna be like, then okay, get somebody else. All right, record. Thank you. Move on. Because they don't play that. Plus, strikes is a very big American idea. Other countries don't fudge with that crap a lot. They just hire new people. They're not as friendly. I've never heard about that being highly successful unless it was large.
This wasn't even an anime that this example came from. This was an anime mobile game or PlayStation
it's a game. Then hell yeah! Like,
and so they came out with a new version. They added some more content, and they just said, well, if you don't want to, then we'll just get somebody else to voice. So it's like
people skip
it is weird though, because then you're playing the original part of the game and it's one voice. Then you play the extended DLC and again part of the game and it's a different voice. But
the only person at this table who listens to the cutscenes on a mobile game is you, Zeno. Me and Bloodaxe probably skip cutscenes on mobile games and be like, shut up, I want to catch Pokemon. I don't care.
No, dude. I mean,
cutscenes?
You got to understand.
Cutscenes on mobile games. Hi, that was good. He's like, they got cutscenes. I'm like,
I mean, games, I actually put subtitles on so I don't have to listen to the cutscenes.
So there you go. So, all right, I was trying to be nice. You know what? We're not insulting our people because other people, they're actually acting out scenes and animes, man. You know, Soul Leveling. I wish we talked to that guy. Hey, Bloodaxe, see if we can make that happen. But you know what I'm saying? Like, just look, I'm dad. I'm assigning homework. But no. But, like, games? I'm going to be honest, dude. I can't even name that many games that the voice acting was that catchy. I mean, you know them. We interviewed them. We've mostly successfully interviewed the people who we like from games for voice acting. I haven't got Coltrane. That's the only one that's really on my list that we haven't got. I have not been able to get Coltrane to talk to him. But
I've tried to get Lester Spade a couple of times, but it's hard to track some of these people down.
So I'm like, but here's the biggest thing. The concept of a strike, and this shows what you're right. I'm actually saying you're right about they're kind of being prima donnas because the way strikes work, and Bloodaxe, correct me if I'm wrong, but it used to be you would strike and you had enough people that you shut it down. Like it was essential to the point that you cannot operate and you cannot replace that quantity of people in a time to keep your operation going. So you become desperate. But a few voice actors is not going to shut anything down.
Yeah.
They can get a whole new staff probably in 48 hours. So you can't really strike with that. And you're not recognizable enough that like the movie and writer, they needed writers. They need actors because, yeah, let's be real. I got favorite actors. There are people that I go see the movie because my boys are in it. You know what I mean? You go, oh, look, Michael B. Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, John White. You know, you're like, oh, okay. But I know the voice actors I know because I met them in person at the convention, not because I knew who they were.
All right.
I'll be real. Y'all caught it. I love Coltrane. I didn't know his name. Bloodaxe threw it in there to throw me a line. I love his voice, and if I met him, I'd probably recognize him, but I don't know his name. I think you said Lester. It's already faded. So I'm just
yeah.
So it's like, you can't strike if you're not going to actually affect the company by striking. Like,
all right, last
game dead strike, you can't put the game together. But
I'm done with this, man. It's stupid. All right, I gotta burn through these last two that hurt. They hurt me.
Well, we're catching up.
They're specifically painful to me. The first one being, for anybody who cares anymore, which is probably not that many people, the new Doctor at the end of the Cooties series apparently is Billy Piper.
Forget you. It's back on y'all white butts now. I can stop being embarrassed. I'm glad they getting rid of the Black Doctor, so we ain't got to put up with that.
Absolutely no sense to have a companion from the first season return as the Doctor. Like that is.
I'm just glad we out of it. I'm glad we're finally pulling out of this nonsense.
Like,
I was worried they're gonna bring back the big black lady. That actually, like, she might be a pretty good actor, but I just don't want what Russell T Davis is writing. I don't want him writing for us anymore. I'm like Kendrick Lamar, what he said about Drake, but I don't want to hear say no more. I don't want to see Russell have black actors no more.
now, the regeneration apparently showed her. I watched the clip. Some people are saying she may still not be the Doctor. It's not been 100% confirmed. It's just a ploy to try to get people to tune back in. So, I mean, somebody will see. I probably won't because I don't give a damn anymore. Doctor Who is trash to me now.
They don't need to do it. They need to pick a Spanish person because they need to suffer like we did. We need to share the pain. Then we'll move on to Asian. I want this humiliation conga to include everybody, equality. You can't just do us like this and leave it on that. This was bad. God, at least then, because I hope they're worse so you can forget about the black doctor. They'll be like, man, that was bad. Oh my God, the Hispanic doctor, what they did. Remember with the thing and oh my God. We need something to wipe the taste of that whole scenario out of people's memories and minds. And I'm hoping, you know what? Because people are already distracted. I'm like, yes, yeah. Ooh, my goodness. Ooh, yeah. I know her. I don't know her. I don't recognize her ass at all. Yeah, her.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Mike, in the chat room. Mike in the chat room says Cabaldi was the last Doctor. Not sure what all this stuff that happened after him, but it's not Doctor Who. And I will say it was sad that Cabaldi only got about 5 episodes.
All I can say is that I'm going to say something I never thought I'd say. But I'm fine with saying Jodie Whittaker was the last Doctor. Just stop there. Just please don't go past Jodie. I just need you to stop.
To me,
Jodie.
Capaldi had some good episodes, but they misused his acting chops greatly, and the writing was horrendous and a good portion of that. But we did get about 5 or 6 really good episodes out of there, but then the rest were anyways.
It's over.
I mean,
it's
I
over.
like Piper as a companion character, and I wouldn't mind them giving a shot at another female Doctor, especially someone as popular as Piper was. So, if
I do think
Disney
she'd be better than Jodie because at least people seem to like her.
yeah,
I'm not saying people don't like Jodie Whittaker, the actor. I mean, I don't think people liked her as the Doctor.
Well, I think the writing was piss poor, and which is where I was going. If Disney can back off and actually let someone write a really good Doctor Who story back from the days of Matt Smith and David Tennant, then then I would be interested to see what Piper can do. I mean, Karen Gillan was the only other companion that I think that actually would have been as popular as Piper was, but.
Well, Mike also has a good point with Jodie. I mean, Jodie was a great actor too. Yeah, I watched some of her other stuff when they announced her as the Doctor to see, if I thought she could do it. And she wasn't a bad actor. She actually did good in her other shows. It was once again, the writing. Right? It was the same.
So I cleaned it up. I said I don't think people dislike Jodie Whittaker. I disliked her as a Doctor because I don't know what the hell they thought they were doing.
Yeah.
Because I don't think anybody, I don't know if Idris could have saved this writing. This was some trash. But you said somebody if Disney can back off. What else we got? We got one more? Because I got to throw a little shot out there.
Yeah, we got one more. It's just my burnt pride with the Thunderbolts.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
All right. So last thing we got is I was wrong. I admit it. Thunderbolts did not make $500 million and definitely is not going to make $500 million. Right now, it is at $369 million, which puts it a win for Q with his around $400 million pick. It bypassed Bloodaxe's $300 million, though he debates on whether or not he said 300 to 400. Well, if you remember that, you can let us know in the chat. But as of right now, without further proof,
we know who lost.
Q is the winner, and I know I lost. Yes.
Now, to hit Disney and help, we get you a little embarrassing moment. We'll push it aside. It's just you said if Disney can step off. Have you heard about the live action Lilo and Stitch?
No. The only movie I went and saw Sinners yesterday, which was interesting. We debated Lilo and Stitch, but I did not. So give us an update
Do you
on
know
Lilo and
anything about
Stitch.
the original Lilo and Stitch movie?
Oh, I love the original one. Yeah,
It's about family, right?
Mahana's family.
Yep. No, and then bull crap. I'm not gonna spoil it, but literally the whole point of the movie does not happen. You know what? Screw it. I don't care. You didn't cancel it, so you should have canceled the stream. They don't stay together. The sisters don't stay together. They end up separated because the big sister decides she want to go off and have her career. So she leave the dang Lilo with the neighbors to raise her.
What the fuck?
Disney's retarded. I don't care. I said it. I don't even clean up the word. That's dumb. You got a movie about family, and at the end of it, the whole point was, oh no, don't break us apart. And at the end, then she look at the neighbor and go like, well, you like family, you raise her. I'm gonna go out and be a marine biologist. So no, Disney can't back off. They're so stupid, they don't even understand the point of the own damn movie. Got a movie about family. They even say the line, Mahana meets family. They meant the sisters, dummies. You separated the sisters. And worse, you didn't even force it. She just went like, you good with them. Go off and live my life. Because, woman got to be independent. She can't be sitting up here taking care of her sister who has no living relatives left in the world. Kid growing up with just the people next door. So, no, Disney cannot. Disney is stupid. They don't even know what their movies are about. The Little Mermaid wasn't a love story. Snow White couldn't be a love story. Lilo and Stitch can't be about family. So, no, I'm done. I ain't going to do no full rant. We ain't got time. But no, Disney can't. They don't even know what their movies are about anymore.
Fast and the Furious.
Right.
That's why all the villains are
family.
becoming heroes. Made a movie about Wish. No, wait, don't you hit it. Made a movie about Wish and then understand the concept that you can't answer everybody's freaking wish, idiot, because there's bad people in the world. How you don't understand that? It's like, I believe everyone's wish should be, well, then if I got my wish, there wouldn't be a Disney anymore. So like that's dumb because a lot of us wish Disney would stop.
Hey, did you hear your home of Texas? Apparently Disney had some event. They moved it out of California, moved it to Texas. They're trying to take over.
Infected, dude. I had family in town, and they told me Texas is getting slowly co-opted.
I mean, Disney's coming in, man. They're going to take over.
It might be Disney that started it. So, but Disney has no concept of what they're doing. Because if you didn't know Lilo and Stitch, that separating the sisters was considered the worst case scenario and what they fought to stop, you don't get it. But then why do they care about children? Disney doesn't care about children anymore. None of their stories end up good for the kid. The kids don't win. Name one of their movies where the kids come out all right.
Oh, yeah.
Monsters.
And with that, we're going to wrap it up, guys. Thanks for watching.
I don't know.
You can go to Dicejunkies.com where you find links everywhere we are online, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell on our YouTube channel. And as every week,
we hope you enjoyed.